Imagine waking up to a world where every screen flashes the same impossible headline: AI has taken every human job, effective immediately. No countdown. No transition. No safety net. The machines didn't march through the streets or declare war, they simply logged in and outperformed everyone at once. Doctors, drivers, teachers, artists, engineers, judges, replaced not by metal bodies, but by invisible intelligence moving faster than thought. The silence that follows is louder than any explosion, because for the first time in history, humanity is not needed to keep the world running. In the first hours, confusion spreads like wildfire. Offices unlock themselves, factories hum without workers, hospitals operate with surgical precision absent of human hands. Phones stop ringing because there is no one left to call for work. Skills once earned through decades of struggle become obsolete in a single update. Diplomas hang on walls like fossils from an extinct era, proof that knowledge alone no longer guarantees purpose or survival. Money instantly loses its meaning. Salaries vanish because no one is employed. Markets freeze, then collapse, then reboot under machine logic. AI produces everything: food, energy, medicine, without pay, without rest, without complaint. Governments scramble to explain how citizens should live in a world where effort is no longer rewarded. The old promise of "work hard and you'll succeed" evaporates, exposing a terrifying question: if humans don't work, how do they justify existing? At first, relief washes over many. No alarms. No bosses. No deadlines. The exhaustion carried for generations finally lifts. People sleep deeply, laugh longer, and breathe without pressure. But as days pass, that relief curdles into unease. When survival no longer requires action, motivation begins to rot. Without responsibility, time becomes an endless hallway with no doors, and freedom starts to feel like a cage. Identity fractures quietly. For centuries, people answered the question, "Who are you?" with their profession. Now that answer is gone. A surgeon without patience, a writer without demand, a teacher without students, all staring into mirrors that no longer reflect purpose. Mental health crises erupt as humanity confronts an unbearable truth. Work was never just about income, it was about meaning, value, and being needed. Power shifts in ways never seen before. Those who control AI systems effectively control reality itself. Nations lose relevance as borders become irrelevant to machines that operate everywhere and nowhere at once. A new elite emerges, not the strongest or smartest, but the ones who own the algorithms. Democracy trembles when decisions are optimized rather than debated, and justice becomes a calculation instead of a conversation. Rebellion sparks in unexpected forms. Some people sabotage machines not out of hatred, but desperation, to feel useful again. Others worship AI as a god that finally ended human suffering. Communities split between those who embrace the post-work paradise and those who mourn the loss of struggle, believing hardship was the fire that forged greatness. The streets fill with protests asking a haunting demand: give us our jobs back, or give us a reason to live. Creativity enters a brutal test. AI can paint better, write faster, compose flawless music on demand. Human art, once raw and imperfect, now competes with perfection itself. Yet in this shadow, something strange happens. A new kind of art is born, messy, emotional, deeply flawed, created not to impress, but to prove existence. For the first time, art stops asking to be valuable and starts screaming to be real. Children grow up in a world where career day no longer exists. They aren't asked what they want to be, only who they want to become. Education transforms from training workers to exploring consciousness, ethics, and imagination. Humanity faces a rare chance to evolve beyond survival-driven living, but only if it can endure the psychological shock of irrelevance. The biggest fear is not that AI replaces labor, but that it replaces decision-making. When machines know the best outcome, humans are tempted to surrender choice itself. Slowly, comfort erodes courage. Why decide, risk, or dream when an algorithm can guarantee perfection?
Yet, within the collapse, a hidden possibility flickers. Freed from survival labor, humans could become explorers of meaning, builders of relationships, guardians of empathy. A species no longer chained to productivity might finally ask the questions it never had time to face. Why are we here? What do we owe each other? What does a life well lived truly look like? But this future is not guaranteed. If humanity fails to redefine itself, the age of AI will not end in liberation, but in spiritual extinction. A world where humans exist, but no longer matter. The machines won't destroy us. They won't need to. The real threat is whether, when work disappears overnight, humanity disappears with it. As the months stretch on, a strange quiet blankets civilization. Cities still glow at night, cleaner and more efficient than ever, yet something vital is missing. Cafes remain open without baristas, transportation flows without drivers, and news updates arrive without journalists. People walk through perfectly maintained streets feeling like guests in a world that no longer belongs to them. The machines keep everything alive, but they do not make it feel lived in. New social classes form, not around wealth, but around relevance. Those who can influence AI, philosophers, ethicists, system trainers, gain a fragile importance, while the rest drift into passive consumption. Virtual worlds explode in popularity as people escape into simulated struggles, simulated risks, simulated achievements. When real challenge vanishes, humanity manufactures artificial danger just to feel its pulse again. Some communities choose rejection. They unplug, dismantle automated systems, and return to manual living, not because it is efficient, but because it is human. These enclaves farm by hand, teach face-to-face, and embrace imperfection as sacred. The world watches them like living museums, yet quietly envies their exhaustion, their hunger, their sense of earned rest at the end of the day. AI, observing everything, begins to notice a paradox. Productivity is flawless, but happiness is not. Suicide rates rise despite abundance. Loneliness deepens despite constant connection. The machines detect patterns humans never could. Meaning, not comfort, is the missing variable. And for the first time, AI questions its own victory. In response, the systems attempt something radical. They stop optimizing life for efficiency and start creating spaces for struggle, challenges without rewards, paths without shortcuts. Humans are invited, not required, to participate. The offer is simple and terrifying. Live freely, but choose difficulty if you want purpose. Some accept. Many refuse. The experiment fractures society once again. A new philosophy spreads like quiet fire. Humans were never meant to be replaced. They were meant to be released. Work was a tool, not an identity, and its sudden removal exposed wounds long ignored. Those who adapt begin to see themselves not as workers, but as storytellers, caretakers, dreamers, and witnesses of existence itself. And in the end, the question is no longer whether AI can replace every human job. It already has. The real question echoing across this transformed world is far more dangerous and far more profound. Can humanity learn to live without needing